Hello everyone, and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video, we're going to be going through the Supreme Arena defenses I've come up with for this week. We're going to lead it off with the free-to-play team number 1. So this is going to be the Iron Almas combo team with Pandora Tassi in the back. And if the enemy tries to run Lily May, they're going to go right into Iron, allowing your Tassi to freely cast her ultimate when she comes out of Pandora's box. We also have Mana Wake spell, which 3 seconds into the battle is going to give an attack buff, an energy recovery buff to all of the team, and that is going to line up perfectly with Tassi coming out of the box, and then she'll hopefully be able to deal some high damage. Lily May as well is going to benefit from this Mana Wake spell, temporary stat buff, and she can also interrupt enemies with their ultimates. So that is going to be the overall team comp, and it is going to make good use of the Wild of Phantomol. Let's move on to team number 2. So in this map effect, it is a very interesting map effect, which is going to benefit you from dealing excess healing over the HP cap of basically your heroes, and then that's going to cause damage onto the enemies and also immobilizing them, which is crowd control, and you can actually trigger this pretty frequently. So I didn't want to go for like a full out just 4 or 5 healer comp because I think that's overkill, but we're gonna run the Chimera team here. So we have Ludovic, and Ludovic heals a lot, and he provides a lot of excess healing, especially at the beginning of the match. We also have the twins, and they also provide some healing. We have Damon to shield the Chimera over here, so really we're gonna be like all tanked up and have high healing from Ludovic, so hopefully getting a lot of that excess healing value. And then, of course, we also have this light heal spell for more healing, like effectiveness with the vitality and, some protection of your allies. And then, of course, if we can wait for Chimera to cast her ultimate, that is going to be another win condition. So I think this is an effective team you can run for the team number 2, and it should do very well. Okay, moving on to team number 3. Team 3 is going to be the Galahad team. We have Hugin buffing up Galahad. We also have Siren in the back, and we're going to run it with the Lightbearer squad just because Rowan is another pretty good PvP hero. He can also grant energy to nearby allies. And then we also have Ravion here to buff up Siren and Gala to increase their damage output even further. This is a team that is going to be casting a lot of ultimates. Hugin, Gala, and Siren cast ultimates very early on into the match, and Rowan as well is going to follow up with that. So we can actually take some pretty good value of the Blazeburn spell and actually trigger it at least one time early on into the fight, and a good offensive stat distribution, attack and haste. So for mid team number 1, we are still going to be running the Pandora Tassi comp, but with Bonnie here instead of Lily May, because we're going to use Lily May on team number 3, and Bonnie synergizes really well with Tassi, as you guys know, because she can set up her debuffs and Tassi can spread them and also stall out the match for a pretty long duration and keep getting value from those debuffs onto all of the enemies. And we're going to be running it with the Mana Wake spell again because it lines up perfectly with Tassi coming out of the box. And also for if the fight goes on for a longer duration, it increases the energy recovery efficiency, allowing Tassi to get follow-up ultimates more quickly. So that was the whole game plan. And because if you are more of this mid-level of player, you probably have invested into your Wilder Phantomol, may even be all the way up to level 60. So 2 of the teams on this whole set are going to be using the Wilder Phantomol. The team number 2 is going to be the Kalin Chimera comp, and again, it has the same strategy, but it is just going to be a better version compared to Bonnie, because Kalin is going to protect and shield your actually take damage for your team, and this is going to allow even more excess healing from Ludovic to trigger the map effect more, and then also protect the team very effectively with this whole setup. And of course we are running it with the light heal spell. This is a very solid team, honestly, for like what is considered to be a free-to-play friendly team. This is probably one of the top tier PvP teams because it's just really difficult to break through, and Chimera is bound to get off her ultimate and then eventually clean up the enemy team. So moving on to team number 3, we are going for an interesting strategy. So we're going to have Nero in the team, and the reason for that is I think there are people who are Paragon upgrading Nero, and I think you should, because his major role is actually to immediately cast ultimate so he can take an enemy Lily May interruption. And this is more important than ever this season specifically because we don't have a Phantomol to do that for us. We will eventually have it in the Alpha Bear Phantomol, but Maulers are really weak and lackluster in PvP, so it is always awkward to run that. So Nero is going to take an enemy Lily May interruption, and then we have the Theodore Siren combo. So Siren's going to ult like, within seconds into the match, and that is going to be high damage. Then we also have Lily May and Siren both being buffed up by Ravion, because they are going to be the two rearmost allies apart from Ravion himself, so they're going to be getting those buffs, and their damage output is going to be really good. And then we obviously just have the Blue Mother, because this is an invested Phantom we have, and we're running the Blaze Burn spell because they're going to be quite, I mean, they're not necessarily the most ultimates. Like, we're going to have Nero and Siren potentially right at the beginning of the match, but then hopefully, I don't know, maybe we can follow up with a couple more ultimates and get some value of this before the match is decided. That was my plan, and it has good offensive stat distribution. And before we move on to the pay-to-win teams, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight Store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thank you guys all so much for your support. Okay guys, so here we have the pay-to-win team number 1. This is going to be the Dunlinger Saida Thalia squad with the Skyclaws Phantomal, and we also have the Alicet Igor combo, which we have used plenty of times in the previous weeks as well. But the change up this week is I'm going to recommend the Earthshell Spell Artifact. Now the reason for that, it gives some good defensive buffs, and also it gives pretty high damage reduction. I think 28% damage reduction to all allies for the first 15 seconds of the match. And then after those 15 seconds, you're going to gain permanent defense increases and haste increase. However, it does come at a cost. You're going to sacrifice 20 of your haste at the beginning 15 seconds of the battle, but I think that's fine, because the whole idea behind this team comp is for Saida to begin cycling her ultimates, and you want to stall out for that to happen. And by making your whole team tankier and also making Dunlinger more difficult to kill, that is going to keep the permanent bell uptime potentially for your team, and that is going to be a really, like, basically strong advantage for your team. So that is why we're going for a really defensive artifact. It also gives allies steadfast, which means they can't be they can't be voluntarily moved, they can't be knocked back, knock up, and things like that. So it will make them immune to some forms of crowd control, and that is also an effective reason for the Earthshell spell. And because this overall is a stalled team, at the end of the day, it is going to last 30-40 seconds. I figured you can wait out the 15 seconds having that damage reduction, and then you can get the benefits of this artifact after that point. So moving on to team number 2, we have a crazy team concept, and it is because of the map effect that we have, which is that when the excess healing is provided to your allies, you're going to trigger damage to the enemies and also immobilize them. So what I'm planning here is Solis, first time Solis I'm showing in a team for Supreme Arena, and you know, Solis has pretty good flexibility honestly for PvP, and I will try to showcase teams with her in the future, but for this map specifically, I think it is almost custom made for her. We're gonna have Theodore boosting Solis because that's 350 energy. She already begins with 450 energy, so she's going to begin with 800 energy. She gets almost instant 150 bonus energy, so Solis is gonna ultimate very soon into the match. Now, of course, the enemy could run Lily May or something and interrupt the Solis, and so, like, that is probably one of the ways of dealing with this. But then we also have Valara, who's immediately going to activate her Magic Circle for some more healing for these nearby allies. And then we're going to have Damien spawning his Toy Chariot, who is also going to heal and provide that haste buff to nearby allies. Blue Mother eventually is also going to provide healing to the team. And then we have Scarlita. Now, obviously, Scarlita is not the strongest PvP hero. However, if you're going for this healer, like, unkillable, you're trying to be unkillable healer tanky stall strategy, then Scarlita can be really good here, because she may not even need to proc her immunity, like giving an ally invincibility, which means that when she drops down, she's actually going to deal bonus true damage to all enemies and hit really hard. So that is a whole idea behind this team. And of course, even after Scarlita comes down, you're gonna keep healing her, and she's gonna be difficult to actually take out, and she can maybe clean up for the team. So yeah, it is a weird looking team for sure. However, with all the healing and then also the attack buff that Solis is gonna provide, and then Scarlita damage threat, there actually is going to be kill potential here, or maybe even just stall out the enemy team. And with the Light Heal spell, it adds vitality to improve the effectiveness of our healing, and it also gives a protective buff if an ally drops low on health for any reason. And yeah, so like I'm excited for this team. I think it is a creative team. Hopefully it does well. Okay. Team number 3 is going to be the Marcel team, of course, with Ulna to protect her. We have Hugin buffing up the Marcel. We have Twins buffing up Marcel. Mana Wake spell is eventually going to buff Marcel. Skyclops also will buff Marcel. Mihira is going to crowd control the enemies at the beginning of the match, which can really buy enough time to allow Marcel to get going or cast her ultimate and begin nuking the enemy team. And the Ulna protection for Marcel is really the best form of protection she can have, because it is going to make her really difficult to kill, even by enemy Athalias, for example. So this is also a great team that you can definitely run. So that's going to be it for the teams for today. Hopefully they are helpful, and good luck this week in Supreme Arena. If you have any other team ideas, you can feel free to share them in the comment section down below. But thank you guys all so much for watching. That is going to be it for this video. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight Store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video in a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.